Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another video, and we've got some models from Pop Race here. One that I think has been out for quite a while, and then one that's pretty much brand new. Nice thing to see on these, we got an Aston Martin Valkyrie, and then a Lamborghini Huracan STO, and we have licensing on both of these models. So that's really good to see. Some of the Pop Race stuff does not appear to be licensed, and some of it is. So I think they really try to go the route of licensing, and then maybe it's fallen through a couple times. I don't really know. I don't know the logic behind it, but there you go. Some people really care about that, so we mention it in every video. You guys know that while I think it's pretty awesome when they have a license, that's never really stopped me from purchasing a car to check out that I thought was cool. So, but if you ask me on these ones, these two are licensed. All right, so anywho, we're going to go ahead and rip into these. And of course, it wouldn't be appropriate unless we didn't have something to compare them to as well. So Pop Race has been really impressive. Like, their castings have been very awesome. I've been into like every one recently that I've got, and I've really enjoyed them. So I'm expecting good things from these. This Aston Martin Valkyrie in particular, this is a car I didn't really think I would ever buy this casting from Pop Race. However, when I got the Elite 64 from Hot Wheels, I was a little bit more turned on to this car because I've always thought this car was kind of crazy looking and a little ugly. But the Valkyrie Elite 64, which I do have, and we're going to look at it in a second, is really gorgeous. I think it looks awesome. It really kind of does the car justice and makes it look good. So let's see if Pop Race can have that same effect on me for a car that I thought I really wasn't going to like. So let's check it out. And it appears this is probably pretty close. Or no, it's not going to be the same color, but it's a bluish. Oh, it's a matte finish color. So let's go ahead and check it out. So here is the Valkyrie from Pop Race. And it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. So it's got quite a bit of detail in it. This particular one does not have a moving part. Pop Race has been putting moving parts on their models, or opening parts, and this one does not appear to have an opening part, and that is totally fine with me. That carbon fiber weave there. It rolls really nice. It is a metal body, metal base with some plastic pieces and parts, but it is pretty sweet. I like how that's open like the real car. You can see the like linkages and stuff in there. That is really cool. And overall, fantastic job. Is it beautiful? I don't know. Maybe not as much as the Elite 64, and I'm going to show you that car now. If you're not familiar with it, here's the Elite 64 version. The reason why I really like this one, that's really made this one shine, was the color of this model. The base on this one is all plastic. You are going to see that it's a little bit less detail, less accurate detail in the Elite 64 model. Even though this Elite 64 model is very nice, very awesome. So I would say that you'd probably be able to get these for very similar prices. Dare I say the Pop Race is probably actually cheaper. From a scale perspective, it looks like they're both exactly the same. So size-wise, so it does look like the Hot Wheels is actually 1/64 scale. You do get some opening doors with the Elite 64. This is something I do not give a rip about. If I'm honest, I don't care that the doors open. I don't need them to open. I'd actually almost prefer that they don't, so that we don't see these gaps in here. The only thing, and I've said this maybe a couple times now, opening parts on 1/64 scale, they're cool when you can really pull them off. And it's just hard to get them to really pull off. So that's where the detail edge is actually going to go to the Pop Race because of not having that insane door gap. And then you got this separate piece up here for this air intake. So headlight-wise, they look good. But anyway, so the only thing I really enjoy as far as an opening part goes on a model would probably be an opening engine compartment, whether it's a hood or whatever, or the back. an opening engine compartment. That's cool. I like seeing the engine. I think that's a neat detail. But really, as far as 1/64 scale goes, I don't really think we should be doing any other opening parts. I think it's kind of a waste of engineering. I'd rather get a nice, accurate model with the doors that do not open. That being said, this model is done very beautifully well, and I quite like it. It was a big surprise that I would enjoy this one as much as I do, and I still enjoy it. I think it's gorgeous. So very, very nice. Color-wise, it's cooler than this color, for sure, than this matte finish. But detail-wise, I mean, I guess I have to give it to Pop Race just for the added detail. This doesn't feel as heavy as the Elite 64. I will tell you that. Not that that necessarily matters. Maybe there's a little bit more plastic pieces, like the front's plastic, this is metal, all that other jazz. This one also has proper side cameras, right? I think is what those are. They're not mirrors, they're cameras. So I believe that's what they are. Although one appears to be, might need to be glued back into place. I might have ripped that one almost off. Or no, that's the way it sits. That's right. All right. Anyway, so there's that. There's the Valkyrie. You guys let me know what you think. What do you prefer? Do you prefer the Elite 64 or you prefer the Pop Race? Detail, Pop Race, color, and presentation. Honestly, the Elite 64 beats it. It just looks better. And just because of the color, really. All right. Next is the Lamborghini Huracan STO. Again, this is licensed. We need to remove the plastic. I have not peeked at this. I don't know what we're in for. This one, I believe, does have an opening part. Kind of got Gulf oil vibes with the color combo. And this one, of course, we're going to compare to the Mini GT model of this, because that's the closest thing that I have to it, is Mini GT. And let's check this out. Our tires are falling off. Let's get those straightened out real quick before they're pushed back like off the rim. So I know the rims kind of sit flush with the sidewall of the tire on this car, but these are kind of falling off a little bit. I'll get those back into shape. All right, now we're looking good. Very nicely done model. I can tell right off the bat. Very good detail. I would say, like right off the bat, you'd be hard pressed to tell the difference. So we've got the Pop Race here, or hang on. Okay. We've got the Pop Race there. No, I'm just kidding. That is not the Pop Race. This is the Mini GT. This is the Pop Race. So there's a couple of giveaways as to what the difference is. But before we get into those things, see they got the rubberized mirrors. It's basically the same. Again, scale-wise, they're pretty much identical. You'd be easy to mix these up. But there is some added stuff here to the... Here, let's do this real quick. All right. Which one's which? Left or right? Which one's Pop Race? All right. Let's try it like this. Mix them up again. All right. Which one's which? See? It's hard. It's hard, right? Looking at the side here. Lambo logo there. This is the Mini GT. And then this one here. Lambo logo there, wheels, tires, looking very much the same. The wheels on this one are more of a, not quite as glossy, it looks like, but wow, very close. Very, 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 very close. Oh, we do have some added detail on the left here, that exhaust being painted silver. The tail lights look a little bit different as well. And just a reminder, this one is the Mini GT. This one is the Pop Race. But very, very minor details. Very, very close to the same. We got a little bit more detail on the bottom here too, if that matters to you. And it looks like we have some removable things here. So on this one, the frunk opens like that, which honestly I don't really care for this. I don't really get the point of having this part open. There's no engine in there, obviously. The engine is back here, but this opens. It's hinged. That's there. Although they do a very good job of it, right? I think. Let's see if we can. You got to kind of push it in and out. It's kind of a little bit of a trick to open it and shut it. I mean, it's cool. That's probably how that opens on the real cars, right? So that's pretty neat. Let's go ahead. You might be able to take it completely off. I'm not gonna mess with that though. So that's cool. It does shut. It's barely noticeable that it does open. You've got that little gap right there. Other than that, it's kind of hard to notice that it opens. Now, I believe the engine compartment opens, and it actually, oh, never mind. It doesn't open. It just removes. So there's the engine. And it does one of the slickest things that Pop Race has ever done, or anybody's ever done in Diecast. It is held on by a magnet. A little magnet and a little contact point there, and it just drops in and it sticks on via a magnet. That is pretty awesome. I think that is really cool. Is it a super necessary detail? Probably not. I will say the Pop Race is likely about almost twice as expensive as the Mini GT. So if you're just after a really nice model of the car and you don't really care about these opening pieces and parts, you really could just go with a Mini GT and be completely happy with that. If you really, really like this car though, and you want both versions, go ahead and get both. Obviously I did. Even though this isn't my favorite color combo for the STO, I'd rather have it, there's some other really cool ones. This Golf one really doesn't do it for me. I will say these tires on these rims are a little loose. They seem to slide around a little bit. The opening hood does nothing for me. This is pretty cool to get a look at the detailed engine. I will say that is neat. And I love that it's held on by a magnet. And it's really easy to take on and off, which is awesome. But I will say both of these models are pretty good. Neither of them I would say that you made a bad buy. So both really nice, and hard to tell apart if you don't know what you're looking at. All right, so that's that. What do you guys think? So does Pop Race win? What out of 2 battles does it win? Does it win against the Mini GT for the STO, and does it win against Hot Wheels Elite 64 for the Valkyrie? So if I had to pick 2 models to keep in my collection and I had to get rid of the other ones, I would probably stick with the Elite 64, to be honest with you. And then I would probably go the Pop Race on the STO. I don't know. But either way, none of them are bad models. They're all really good. Really, really nice. And recommend all of them. So, all right, you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. This will be in the premium/import diecast playlist, where there is a ton of content with Pop Race, Mini GT, 64, Tarmac Works, all that stuff. Random Asia brands, all that stuff is in that playlist. So if you like this content, you will enjoy those videos, and I suggest that you check them out. Of course, thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting, all of that good stuff. And you have a great, excellent day. See you next time. Bye.